The 21-90 rule. Does it really take 21 days to form a habit? Most people have heard the rule. It takes 21 days to form a habit. Say it enough times and it starts sounding like science. Do something for 3 weeks and suddenly it's automatic, clean, simple, comforting. Also, misleading. The 21-day idea didn't come from habit research. It came from observations made decades ago about how long it took people to adjust to physical changes, not behavioral ones. Somewhere along the way, that idea got simplified, repacked, and turned into a motivational slogan. The problem is not that it's completely wrong. The problem is that it sets people up with the wrong expectation. Habits don't form on fixed timelines. They form through repetition and consistency, not the calendar. Some habits feel automatic in a few weeks. Others take months. Some never fully automate, instead require gentle maintenance. Expecting a habit to lock in by day 21 creates pressure. When day 22 arrives and the habit still feels effortful, people assume they failed. That's not how habit formation works. What actually matters is not how long you have been doing the habit, but how often you have repeated it under similar conditions. A habit practiced daily for 30 days will feel more stable than a habit practiced randomly over 60 days. Frequency beats duration. There's also the question of habit size. Small habits stabilize faster. Drinking a glass of water every morning might feel natural quickly. Exercising for an hour every day is a different story. The more effort a habit requires, the longer it takes to feel automatic. Expecting both to follow the same timeline makes no sense. Yet, that's exactly what the 21-day myth encourages. Another overlooked factor is environment. If your environment constantly fights it, progress slows. A habit doesn't live in isolation. It lives inside your daily life with all its distractions, stressors, and interruptions. There's also identity, habits that align with how you see yourself stick faster than habits that feel forced. If you believe you are not a morning person, a morning routine will take longer to stabilize, no matter how many days you repeat it. When identity and behavior are misaligned, friction stays high. So, does that mean the 21-90 rule is completely useless? Not exactly. The more accurate idea is this: habits often start to feel familiar around 3 weeks, but they usually stabilize closer to 3 months. That's where the 21-90 concept comes from. The first phase is initiation. The second is integration. The first few weeks are about learning. If you're figuring out when to do the habit, how it fits into your day, and what gets in the way, the habit still requires conscious effort. It's fragile, easy to skip, easy to abandon. The next phase is where habits actually stick. Around the 2 to 3 month mark, the behavior feels less dramatic. You stop negotiating as much. The habit becomes part of your rhythm rather than a project you are actively managing. Even then, habits are not permanent. They are stable, not invincible. Stress, travel, illness, or life changes can weaken them. This doesn't mean the habit is gone. It means it needs reattachment, not a restart. The real danger of the 21-day myth is that it encourages short term thinking. People treat habits like challenges instead of systems. They push harder for 3 weeks, burn out, and then stop because the finish line they were promised never showed up. Habits don't reward intensity, they reward patience. A better question than how many days does it take is how can I make this habit easier to repeat? Smaller actions, clear cues, supportive environments, identity alignment. These factors matter far more than counting days. If you are building a habit, stop watching the calendar. Watch the pattern. Are you showing up more often than not? Are you returning after the misses? Is the habit slowly becoming less emotional and more routine? That's progress. Habits form when repetition becomes boring, when there's no big feeling attached anymore, when it's just something you do, not in 21 days, not magically, but reliably. If you stop rushing the process,